Hello there. We're gonna draw some swords today. I like swords, you like swords. We don't use swords on each other. That's bullying. Not only am I a procrastinating and inconsistent 2D animator, but I am also an aspiring concept artist. Thank you, hold your applause. I won't be here all week because I'm very inconsistent. Today we're going to be drawing 3 different kinds of swords, all with very different themes that I will, in fact, struggle with. I already drew 3 swords for my portfolio piece, but I feel like I need more. So, here we are, drawing swords. For my first 3 swords, I already did Medieval, Crystal, and Withered. The Crystal one was pretty tricky since I've never really drawn swords before, and then I decided, ooh, let's go from 0 to 100. So basically, we are going to do 3 more themes that are also hard because I hate myself. The themes that we're going to do today that I decided myself, because I voted myself to be in charge, are Nordic, Steampunk, and Gore. I picked Gore as the last one because I know some people can be uncomfortable with that, so I'll give a little warning before we get into that sword. But anyway, let's get drawing some swords. Get to drawing some swords. Good English. For the first sword, we're going to be starting with the Nordic one. I picked this theme because I just finished watching Jacksepticeye finish playing his God of War Ragnarok series and absolutely loved it. And when I tell you people, the weapons in this game, beautiful. Absolutely glorious. For references, obviously I looked at the God of War weapons and was very inspired by that. And then I also looked at Viking weapons and Norse symbols and meanings on Pinterest. Most of the references included weapons that had gray metals, so like iron, silver, stuff like that. I knew though that I wanted mine to be made out of gold, like actual gold. I wanted this weapon to be wielded by a Valkyrie. Also, because of this, I use symbols that, when searched up online, they mean defense, protection, and strength on the... Is that the handle? What part of this part is the sword called? That's still a handle, right? Also, for some symbols, I added my own kind of touches and looks to it that I saw in like some other references that I thought were really cool. While designing this sword, I did my best to kind of stay true to Norse mythology in some designs, but also add my own flair. I really love drawing this Nordic sword. I think it looks pretty cool for having been the 4th digitally drawn sword I've drawn ever. Now, let's take a look at the finale of the sword. What? Let's look at the sword. Let's look at it. Woo, bask in the light of the sword. Alright, now we're moving on to Steampunk. I would have placed this one last in the video because of difficulty, but I wanted to make sure to put the Gore one last, just in case for some people, because holy crap, Steampunk is hard to do. It is a beautiful theme. I love Steampunk so much. It is so cool. I love all the designs. I love the mixes of like old but like new stuff and technology and blah blah blah. But oh my gosh, it's hard to do. Generally, when I was looking for references for this sword, like nothing came up. It was either just a regular sword or a steampunk gun or building or anything that just didn't have to do with a sword. Although I say it was really, really hard to do this, I do think it was really good for me. I think designing something like this without any real influence of what someone else has already done was a real challenge for me and taught me a lot as an up-and-coming concept artist. Steampunk is really practical meets impractical on an even range, so it's very chaotic, but good. Steampunk also has a lot of small details in it, like screws, little things like that I really wanted to incorporate in it. I think if I ever did this sword again and redesigned a steampunk sword, I would probably add more like tiny engraved details like I did with the Nordic one, but more of like a fancy like swirly steampunk style into it, just to add a little more oomph Originally, when I designed this sword, I pictured the chemicals that are in the sword as like a green color, but I ended up deciding on purple and blue because the brown is an orange base, and I felt like the blue cool tones popped more and created better contrast between the two and looked less, you know, organic, like, you know, brown and green tree, you know, stuff like that. I think I kind of made up the idea of this piece actually when I finished it. To me, it seems like this chemical stuff can be turned on and kind of shoot a laser out of the top of the sword, so it kind of also works as a laser gun. And I also think you can switch between the purple and the blue stuff, so like the blue stuff is a laser and the purple stuff is a different laser. Now looking back at it, I do see areas, like I said, where I think I could have done better and like, or tried this or blah blah blah, but I had never done something like this before, so for what it is, I'm very impressed with myself. Alright, now time to bask in this sword's glory. Alright, for this final sword, this is the gore one, so here is my disclaimer for all the people who don't like that icky, gooey, gross stuff. Thank you so much for watching this far, and I will see you in another video where it's not so icky, gooey, gross stuff. Now, for all the other people who enjoy icky, gross stuff. Ew. Okay, this sword was the funnest one to design for me. I thoroughly enjoy drawing and designing just like gore kind of stuff. It's creepy, and I've always enjoyed like special effects makeup and like creepy monster stuff and like zombie shows and things like that. So I was pretty excited for this one. While designing this sword, I also kept another game in the back of my head that I really like, which is Dead by Daylight. If you haven't seen it, there's another video on my channel of funny clips from that game with my friend Pip. Please go check it out if you like dumb people doing dumb stuff. I kind of thought throughout this sword that I would want it to be something that one of the killers in that game would probably wield. Someone like Huntress or Wraith or something like that. Even though their weapons aren't swords, I think they would enjoy carrying this around, you know? From start to finish, unlike the other swords, I think I knew what I wanted this sword to be. I already kind of knew I wanted like a fleshy handle and like a bone-made blade, but with teeth on it. Yeah, I'm really gross. The only thing that I didn't really think of beforehand was the eyeball in the middle of the sword. That was kind of like a random last-minute thought in the design, but I think it really added a lot to it. As I said, the stuff on the handle is supposed to be skin. It was pretty difficult for me to create that skin-like look, since it's not like something people regularly look at that is skin, like a hand or a face or, I don't know, a kneecap. I think for what it is, it turned out really well. I think next time if I do design something like this again, I think I would make it more like bone oriented and not just like these little tiny areas kind of sticking out of it, since it kind of looks like tree-ish, or like, what's with me and making things look like trees? I do like actually how it overall turned out. I think the like upwards design of the curved stuff looks really cool. I could design it a little differently next time, but it is what it is. For references, the main things I searched up were skulls and bones, some different teeth, like human teeth and animal teeth, and then also like withering skin. So like older skin and decaying skin. Of course, like actual decaying bodies won't come up on the internet. I mean like special effects decaying skin. Guys, we're not that gross in here. We are gross because we're drawing this, but we're not gross searching up dead bodies, okay? That's nasty. Thank you. Don't really have much else to say about this sword other than it was a lot of fun to design. All these were a lot of fun to design, but, you know, being creepy and wanting to freak people out is always, you know, fun. Alright, we know what time it is. Bask in this sword's glory. All you other freaks out there who also enjoy designing this. That's fun. And now let's look at them all together. I'm incredibly happy with how all of these turned out, and if I had a tip for this video, it would be get out of your comfort zone. Even if it's just in life, go try something new. You only live once, right? So why not? As for art reasoning, pushing yourself and trying new things and not just sticking yourself in a little bubble of what you're comfortable with expands you as an artist and definitely helps you become better. It's definitely helping me. And finally, here are all the 6 swords together for my portfolio piece. I think they look great together. Obviously, none of them are from the same universe or world, but that makes it kind of awesome, and I'm really, really happy with how they turned out. Thank you guys so much for coming on this sword journey with me. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you in the next video.